Okay, we are doing March favorites because it's April. I did one of these last month. Again, nobody here, nobody asked, but I had a fun time. So we're doing it again. This time we're going to start with like food favorites because they're right here. It was the month for Earl Grey, okay? One is this Earl Grey ice cream by Van Leeuwen? I don't know. It's delightful, it's delectable, it's delicious. Did I get this out of the freezer to show you and then decided to eat the rest of it so it wouldn't melt? Yeah, I did. On the topic of Earl Grey, spring is Earl Grey time. It's always Earl Grey time at my house, but it's even more so Earl Grey time in the spring. And I recently got this Harvey & Sons Earl Grey Supreme, which I don't know what makes it supreme, but also, did I say Harvey? It's Harney. Anyway, I like these because one, they're the fancy, can you see? They're like the fancy tea bags. And you can get like 2-ish cups of tea out of these suckers, which I like because I just am kind of sipping on tea all day. The last food favorite is this little nougat. I used to get this when I was a kid at my aunt and uncle's house, and then I hadn't seen it in forever, and then we were in New York in Little Italy, and we went to like get a cannoli or whatever, and it was in here, and it's like, you know how sometimes you can like smell something and then like memories flood back to you? That was me seeing this packaging. Anyway, specifically the one with pistachios in it. Also, this thing has been on multiple planes. This thing has traveled. She's going to be junk journaled in a moment, so like, it's rough, but if you're a nougat person, it's delicious. I've convinced myself it's somewhat healthy because there's like nuts in it, so fiber, protein, healthy fats. Okay? We'll move on to like beauty-ish favorites, which is interesting. This month I got sunburn because it's getting hot in the South. Oh, speaking of getting hot in the South, I'll start with fashion, but I'll put this down. It's hot enough in the South where I have convinced myself that if I have to wear a bra, you have to see it. I typically structure my life around wearing garments in which I don't have to be physically restrained. But sometimes in the summer things are lighter and you're going places that you have to, and it's just, my bra's gonna be out, and I need everyone to be okay with that. I grew up in a very like Southern conservative, like people would like come up to you and whisper and be like, your bra strap is peeking out. Good. Good. My left titty is about to be out if y'all don't shut up. It's too hot for all of that. Anyway, and it's only like April, but it is already hot. Because it's hot and I was outside acting a fool, acting like I'm not the palest person on planet Earth, I got a sunburn. And because I got a sunburn at my big grown age, we had to remedy that. I have some sensory situations with sunscreen. Like, I don't like, if anything ever peels on me, I'm actually gonna rip my skin off. So I found this Saltaire sunscreen body oil. The one thing I will say, I bought it because I thought it was gonna smell like Santal Bloom, like their body wash and stuff. It doesn't. It smells like off mosquito spray. Okay, speaking of things I put on top of it to not smell like off mosquito spray, last time I think I mentioned the like 2 cups of tea in a summer monsoon and me and you or whatever, and the one that smelled like wet earth, perfume, I mean. From the same brand, Death and Floral, I have this filled with the heat of a reckless summer, and it smells like a blueberry bush, or like a sweet tart or something. I could huff this. It smells so good, and like for spring, summer, when it's like cheery outside, I like wearing this, and then when it's gloomy outside, I like to smell like wet earth. Is that too much to ask? Okay, next, briefly talk about my 2 book favorites of the month because I already made a video talking about the books I read. First is Jeanette Winterson, Written on the Body. You have got to read this book. If you are gay, you have to read it. If you've ever been super in love, you need to read it. If you're a man wondering how you should feel about women, you should read it. You should read this book, and then you should talk to me about it, because I want to talk about this book. The next book I would not recommend as much, but I love it just the same, is Paradise Rot. It's so weird. What if we loved each other and became entangled with each other in a way that we became fungi, possibly, merged into one? Maybe we cannibalize people, maybe we don't. And then we talk about pee all the time. That's what this book is. What more do you want? Okay, and then my 2 favorite movies of the month. I watched Some Like It Hot for the first time. What a great movie. It's so funny. And like, you know when you're watching old movies, you're kind of like holding your breath, waiting to be like, when is it gonna be? Oh, we couldn't say that nowadays, you know? Some Like It Hot never really gets there. It is just lovely and funny, and Marilyn Monroe. It's great. And then the other movie I watched, which I loved, was Daisies. It's a 1960s Czech surrealist film. It was recommended to me. Shouts out Maggie. I'm so obsessed with this movie. And again, it's one of those things where like no one has seen, and then I can't talk to anybody about it. There's a part in it where like they kind of decapitate one another, but in a fun, playful way. Basically, the premise is 2 teenage girls look around and they're like, everyone else is so selfish and rude, we're gonna be so selfish and so rude. And it's basically a movie where 2 teenage girls do all of the things that teenage girls are not supposed to do. So there's a lot of like, just being gluttonous and like food fights and like just being absolutely ridiculous and having old men pay for everything. And I think it's a dream and a delight, and I actually never want to hear a man's opinion on the film. If we could all do that, that would be great. Okay. My song favorites. Giver by Chappell Roan. Duh. There was not a world in which there could be a sapphic country music song and I'm not gonna eat that shit up. You're out of your mind. So it's incredible and I love it and I can't get it out of my head. Film favorites, like film photography. I try all of these weird films because I get it in my head that I'm bored and I want to do something. And then I shoot a roll of Ultramax again. And I feel myself. When we went to New York and DC, it's all I shot, exclusively Ultramax. And I'm happy with how they turn out. I think every time I shoot a different film, I compare it to Ultramax. And it's never what I'm like, oh, it's not, the colors aren't as punchy to me, or like, it's not warm enough for me. Yeah, bitch, because it's not Ultramax. I just need to I think, really zone in and shoot more Ultramax, followed by Kodak Pro Image 100. I want to kiss on the mouth whoever came up with Pro Image 100. It's so good and cheap, and I struggle to say that because I feel like the moment I say that out loud, it's going to skyrocket in price. Kodak's going to remember that it exists and they could upcharge it. Don't do that. But Pro Image is incredible, and every time I shoot it, I'm like, I need to shoot more of this. So I'm like, I need to shoot more of the things that I know that I like and leave these weird things alone. Anyway, those are my March favorites, and if you have favorites in March, you should tell me about them, and we can talk about them. Okay, love you, bye.